Each year in the NBA, there's always one or two diamonds in the rough, guys who are thought of to be just second round picks who come in and really contribute to their teams. A great example of this is Isaiah Thomas. People who get overlooked but prove they can still ball out at the highest level. Regarding the last 5 NBA drafts, there's actually a pretty good grouping of guys who were in the second round who've carved out substantial playing time on their teams and filled a role. Now, to start off, I'm going to talk about the honorable mentions for this list, guys who definitely could have made it, but there was just people I thought were a little bit more fitting. Some of the honorable mentions include Willie Heron Gomez, Chetty Osman, Alan Crabb, Jordan Clarkson, and Mike Muscala. Now, to start off the list, we're going to start off with number 5. The number 5 spot was really up for grabs for me, and Clarkson, because of how he's been playing recently again, he was definitely a thought for me, but I'm going to choose Zubac. I decided to go with Zubac. He was picked number 32 overall in the 2016 draft. Zubac really carved himself out a solid role in the NBA. He's currently on the season averaging 8.9 points per game and 5.1 rebounds per game, but that's only on 16.3 minutes per game. He hasn't been insane in the NBA, but he's much better than what most people expected him to be for sure. Number 4. I think number 4 is a pretty big jump from number 5. At number 4, I have Joe Harris. He was chosen number 33 overall in the 2014 NBA draft by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, it took him until getting traded from the Cavs and signing with the Nets to really get some steam and some serious playing time under his belt, but in the 2018 season so far, Harris has been absolutely amazing. He's been averaging 13.9 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, and 2.6 assists per game. And at that, he's developed his three-point shot to an amazing percentage, from 41% in 2017, which was obviously good, but he's now at 47% in 2018. That takes him from being just an above average shooter to an elite one, and he's currently second in the NBA in total 3-point percentage out of anyone, and that's above Steph Curry and everything. And it's not like he's shooting at a very small volume, he's shooting at a pretty high volume. Now, at number 3, we also have another Nets player, Spencer Dinwiddie. He was picked number 38 overall in 2014 by the Detroit Pistons. Just like Harris, it took him a few years to really get going. His career wasn't much when he was on the Pistons. He wasn't getting a lot of playing time, and he wasn't doing too much with it, honestly. But just like Harris, when Spencer signed with the Nets, that's where he was really able to prove himself. In his first year with the Nets, he wasn't anything spectacular. It wasn't until 2017 that he really showed a lot of promise as a player. But in the 2018 season, he exploded. He was averaging 17.2 points per game and 5 assists per game. But, Spencer's obviously very injury prone, and maybe if he wasn't as injury prone and was able to play all the time, he'd be higher on this list because he's a hell of a player. But he has a pretty high injury concerns. But, so Spencer is number 3. Number 2, this guy, it felt like he came on the scene out of nowhere. Montrezl Harrell is my number 2. He was picked number 32 overall in 2015 by the Rockets. He had an okay run with the Rockets, but once he was traded to the Clippers in the Chris Paul trade, he actually began to establish himself very well. Harrell showed that he's here in the league to stay. This year he's averaging 15.9 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, and 1.4 blocks per game to go along with that. Now, my number 1, he was just far above everybody else, and he is just an insane person to have been a second round pick. At number 1, it's obviously Nikola Jokic. Pick 41 in the 2014 NBA draft to the Denver Nuggets. This was a no-brainer, obviously. Jokic is one of those once-in-a-lifetime, steals. He went from essentially a nobody to an all-star. Jokic is currently averaging 20.4 points per game, 10.6 rebounds per game, and 7.7 assists per game. He's an absolute phenom. And maybe he's even the best second-round steal of all time in NBA history. Now, this is just my list in my opinion. If you think I put somebody too high or even too low or maybe left somebody out, leave it down in the comments. I would definitely want to hear your opinion. please be sure to like, comment, and sub if you want to see more content like this. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next video.